Have you ever heard a ghost story that just sticks with you? Well, today we're going to break down a really clever modern one. It all happens on a late-night train and involves a tempting snack, a terrifying witch, and a warning that, if you ignore it, well, it's fatal. Let's get into it.
So, the whole thing kicks off with this really strange warning. A man on a nearly empty train just starts shouting it. Now, most people just brush it off, but this message, it's the first piece of a seriously scary puzzle, and it's what establishes the deadly rules of the game that's about to be played.
All right, so first up, the Midnight Bhel Puri. This is where we learn the rules of this deadly game, and we learn them through the eyes of the very first victim.
So, meet Gunjan. She's tired, she's hungry, and when she hears this guy shouting, she just thinks he's nuts. And you can't blame her, right? It's a classic horror movie setup. Your rational brain just refuses to believe the supernatural danger that's staring you in the face. But in this story, that's skepticism. It's a fatal mistake.
Okay, for anyone who might not know, Bhel Puri is this amazing Indian street food. It's got puffed rice, veggies, all this tangy sauce. It's a super common everyday snack. And that's what's so brilliant about this story. It takes something totally normal and harmless and twists it into the instrument of horror. The Bhel Puri is the bait.
See, this whole haunting isn't random at all. It follows this very specific, kind of ritualistic pattern. It always starts with that warning. Then comes the temptation, the food. Then a passenger makes the fatal mistake of eating it. And finally, the horrifying consequence. Gunjan is about to go through every single one of these steps.
And here it is. This is the consequence. Right after Gunjan finishes the snack, the woman in the veil reveals she's a witch, and the trap just snaps shut. The price for that Bhel Puri? It's not money, it's her life. The witch claims her, and poof, Gunjan is just gone.
Okay, Section 2, a couple's crusade. Because this story isn't just about the victims, it's also about the heroes who show up to fight back.
These are our heroes, Pankaj and Radhika. And yeah, Pankaj was the man shouting the warning at the beginning. Every single night, they get on this haunted train with just one mission: save people. But as we already saw with Gunjan, it's an impossible job because everyone just thinks they're crazy. You can feel their desperation growing as they keep failing. I mean, first, they try warning people directly. That doesn't work. So they escalate. They go to the station master, Raghu, a guy who could actually stop the train. But he just shuts them down. He's way more worried about looking silly to his bosses than he is about some rumor. All the normal ways of solving this problem have failed.
And this is the turning point. After getting shot down by the authorities, Radhika has this incredible realization. You can't just fight the monster head-on. You have to be smarter. You have to fight fire with fire. Or, in this case, fight Bhel Puri with Bhel Puri. The story just shifted from straight-up horror to a really clever thriller. And that absolutely brilliant plan brings us right to the climax of the story, the ultimate sacrifice. Because her strategy, while it's genius, is about to take a really tragic turn when she finally confronts the witch.
So here's the plan in action. Radhika gets on the train early and she sells her own perfectly safe Bhel Puri to every single person on board. Her logic is so simple and smart: if no one's hungry, no one's going to be tempted by the witch's offer. She's literally trying to starve the monster by taking away its food source.
But there's always a but in these stories, isn't there? The plan is almost perfect. Despite her best efforts, the witch appears and finds one last passenger, a woman named Sheetal who is still tempted. That's all it takes, just one.
Radhika sees what's about to happen and she jumps in, pleading with Sheetal not to eat the cursed snack. It's this incredibly tense standoff, a battle of wills between a desperate stranger and this silent supernatural predator. In that one moment, Radhika makes a choice. She just can't stand by and watch another person die, so she steps forward, right into the witch's path.
And this is the gut punch of the whole story. To save Sheetal, a total stranger, Radhika takes the Bhel Puri from the witch and she eats it. She knowingly walks into the trap to prove to everyone that the danger is real. The witch takes her, and Pankaj is left completely alone and heartbroken.
And that brings us to the final act, a new guardian's reign. Just when you think it's all over and tragedy has won, the story hits you with one last brilliant twist.
We see Panko the very next night. He's back on that same train, grieving and all alone, but he is determined to continue their mission. You think he's just doomed to repeat this tragic cycle forever, shouting warnings that nobody will ever listen to.
And just as you'd expect,
the veiled woman selling Bhel Puri appears. Pankaj braces himself. But then, something happens that's just impossible. The woman approaches him not with evil intent, but with this familiar, almost kind gesture.
Here it is. This is the big twist. When Radhika sacrificed herself, she didn't just die. She became the new witch. She literally defeated the original evil and took its place, hijacking the curse and turning it into something completely different. Where there was malice, now there's protection. The deadly Bhel Puri is now a symbol of safety. And we even hear it from Radhika herself. The new witch, Radhika, explains to Pankaj what she's done. She's going to keep up the ritual, appearing every single night to sell Bhel Puri, but her purpose isn't to kill anymore. It's to protect the passengers forever. She's become the train's eternal guardian.
Which leaves us with this one last question, doesn't it? What started out as a pretty straightforward ghost story has become something way more complex. Is this really a tale of horror? Or is it, in the end, a story about a love so powerful that someone would become a monster just to protect others? It's a fantastic flip that makes this so much more than just another scary story.